Hello, everyone. My name's Joseph Felposh. Um, has anyone had a moment in their life where they really didn't feel like they lived up to their potential? Here's a little story about a time when I thought, you know, I could really be better than this. When I was a senior in high school, I was always a goofball, but I was also someone that everyone really looked up to. Um, I was a captain for my football, basketball, and for my golf team. And I was also the class clown, I wanted everyone to have a good time, and I really wanted just to make people laugh and enjoy their lives. And it was high school, so you get a little bit of leeway when it comes to messing around. But the winter of 2019, 2018, 2019, I decided to go through a series of events um, that really made me feel less of myself because of it. I got suspended from school a couple times, um, and it really affected those around me more than it did myself, I'd say. But the one story that I really want to get into, which I thought was very funny, was the time I put a muskrat in the girls' bathroom at school. It was a Friday morning, and I have a friend who traps ditches. For anyone who doesn't know what that means, there's critters and rodents that live out in the ditches, and he would trap them and kill them and sell their furs. Um, our ditches around here are very overpopulated, so it's a pretty common thing. And he decided to bring one of these traps, a live trap, to school with a muskrat in it, and the muskrat was still alive. So I decided, you know what? If you bring it into the school, I will take it, and as a prank, I'll put it in the girls' bathroom. So I did this, and about 3, 4 class periods go by, and hadn't heard anything yet. And all of a sudden, in the middle of fifth hour, I just heard the loudest scream, and I was like, "Yup, one of the girls found the muskrats." I placed it in the toilet, and so it could swim around in there, and uh, out comes running Mrs. Huey. She comes flying out of the bathroom like a bat out of hell, and I was laughing so hard. Oh, about another hour goes by, and I get called down to the front office and sat down in the principal's office. And he goes, "You know why you're here?" I was like, "Nope, I have no clue. What could it possibly be?" He goes, "Oh, you didn't hear that loud scream earlier in the girls' bathroom? Our school is not very big, so obviously I heard it, but I denied it." And he goes, "Yeah, Mrs. Huey got bit right in the ass by a muskrat. Do you have anything to say about that?" And knowing I'd been caught because there's cameras in the school, I confessed, and I was suspended for 3 days. I didn't think anything of it. Of course, living on a farm, my parents don't take very kindly to getting suspended from school, and I had to work the whole time. I think I worked like 40 hours in 3 days. Um, but, anyways, it was worth it, of course. I really didn't think about other consequences it might have, like being suspended from practice, and I still had to go to practice. I just couldn't physically practice with my team, and that affected them from getting better, from me being able to push them, from me being a leader to them. And they actually had to go through quite a bit of conditioning, which I could not partake in because of those actions. Um, I really, I really regret that. It was funny at the time, and looking back on it, it was, it was pretty juvenile of me, but it, it affected more other people and what they have to do rather than myself. Um, so my advice from the story is to really just take in account all of your actions, something might be funny or sound like a good idea in the heat of the moment, but just take a minute to really think, hey, would I want my grandma seeing me do this? Would I want anyone to have any other consequences from this? Um, is it worth it in the end? Um, so that's my story. I hope you guys got a chuckle out of it and maybe look deeper into yourselves before you decide to do something stupid like that too. Thanks.
All right. I think
Do you have a timer on your screen, by the way?
I don't. No.
just gonna have to wing it for that.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. Like that was, I don't know, that might have been over 5 minutes to be honest. But yeah, you had really good eye contact for that one.
Yeah, I thought it was really attention grabbing. You
It's a
know,
funny story for
it's a funny
sure.
story. Yeah.
You probably could have added in there that you the consequences. You could have got her rabies or something like that.
Right. Yeah, I should call right after that, but
It's hard to like think of all this stuff like on the spot, you know.
yeah, for sure.
All right.
You should be good to go.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Lucas, and just like everyone else at the new job, I made a lot of rookie mistakes. This story takes place when I was 18 years old, and I just arrived at my first unit in the Army. Arriving at my unit, I was scared out of my mind, and I remember the first day they walked us through the our working bay where all of our company was, and every guy there was so angry, just like hating my guts. They're just hating on the new guy. They wanted to rip my head off. Um, and I was talking to my squad leader, which is kind of like my boss at the time, my manager, if you relate it to civilian terms. And we were, he told me that we were going out to the field in about 5 hours, and I was going with him. So I had about 30 minutes to go throw my bags in my little dorm room that they gave me, and about another 30 minutes to pack my stuff for the field. And it was whenever I packed my stuff and went back to the bay, they they said it was an 8-day field problem, and of course I didn't look at the weather, you know, and we it was my first time on a helicopter, and when we flew out there, it was pitch black out. I wasn't, you know, it was brand new to the army, um, and our so we had night vision for the dark, and my night vision was like completely drained of battery. I wasn't ready for it, so I was walking through the woods, pitch black, like no moon out or anything, and I had to grab the guy in front of me, and I had to hold on to him for, I believe it was 6 miles until we got to the spot where we were gonna hunker down, and he's pretty mad at me for that, and uh, right right before we got there, it was freezing raining, and so I walked through a million puddles. I wasn't prepared for that at all. I was just tree branches hitting my face through the woods, smacking me in the eye. Um, and when we finally got to our spot, I was tired out. It's like my first, hard time in the military, and we immediately were told to start digging, good old foxholes. And the person I was digging with, um, he was not a good guy at all. He wasn't talkative. He's kept to himself. So 8 days in the woods was not very fun. And he, our first night there, it started raining, of course, freezing raining, and I didn't bring anything, not any wet weather stuff. And I was just sitting there in the freezing rain, and that was one of my rookie mistakes for sure. And I remember the 8 days were just some of the worst 8 days of my entire life. I'll remember it forever. One dude I remember got hyperthermia. One dude, he broke his foot and didn't even know for a couple days because we were frozen. And um, I'll, I'll just never make that mistake again. When we finally got back to our unit after the field, after the 8 days, we unpacked everything, and I think that was like one of the best showers I've ever taken in my entire life. But in conclusion to all this, just like everyone at their first job, I made a lot of mistakes, a lot of rookie mistakes. But honestly, it's okay to make mistakes because you learn from them. Like I learned from every single mistake I've made in my entire life. And I've become a better person from it. So if you don't make mistakes, you're never gonna learn. All right.
All right. You want to go first? You want me to go, or?
You can go.
Yeah, you're kind of like looking down, and I think one of the main things I noticed in the story is you could have like focused on the moral, I guess, of like being prepared and had that be like the focus of the story,
Yeah.
of like not preparing before you go out to the field.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I was trying to fit it in 3 minutes. I guess
Yeah.
5 minutes.
yeah, I my bad. When I was looking down earlier at the beginning, I was trying to like set a timer so that I could figure out like how long that was like about like 3 minutes, 10 seconds ish.
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah, it's really hard to
I
tell,
felt like
honestly.
I felt like I was going longer, so that's kind of why I cut it
I wish there
short.
was like a timer, like when you record yourself, there's like a timer at the bottom where you could like tell how long you're going.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I thought basically you had a perfect example. I think you just missed the like your not really your conclusion. Your conclusion was all right, but like the purpose of it, I thought that was kind of missing at the end a little bit.
Okay. Yep.
But I've never been in the military, so like using an example like that is super engaging too. So I liked that part.
All right, Dave.
Yep, you're good to go whenever.
all right, hold on, give me a second. Let me just time this. All right. So I think everyone in their lives they go through some sort of adversity or some sort of challenge, and I think that's like when most people they have their greatest moments or like their proudest moments in life is when they overcome that adversity and they achieve something that they never thought they could. Well, my story kind of starts 7 years ago when I was still like a trainee in the Air Force, and I was training to become an air traffic controller at the time, and it was a long, tedious process to finally get your certification. And through that process, there's a lot of I don't want to say belittling, but there's a lot of other people that have their ratings is what we call it in air traffic control. Basically, that's where you're a journeyman, I guess, is the civilian term for that. So like you're an apprentice and then you become a journeyman and you become accepted in the group, and that's kind of like a huge deal in air traffic control. And I think part of that struggle that I went through is uh, is one of my proudest moments. And I was kind of going to I was going to tell you the story about the proudest moment of that, all that training. And it was the day that I earned this little badge. I don't know if you guys can see it, but so on the day of your rating, there's a little tradition that we do after you get watched and certified, and official basically says that you're good to go and you're good to work by yourself. And on that day, basically everybody in your shop will line up and they will all punch these pins with no backs on them into your chest. And I don't know if you guys can see that, but this is the one that I've kept since that day. And you can see it's bent because that's how hard they hit you. And it's almost like in that moment when you're in that line and you shake everybody's hand that has the ratings already and they punch you in the chest right here, it doesn't even hurt. Like you don't even feel it because of the amount of, I guess, struggle and the amount of like sacrifice that you went to. Like that's not even a painful moment. That's like a proud moment. And yeah, I think that was the proudest moment of my life so far. And I think part of that has taught me uh, basically that there's a lot of times where you think that you can't do something and like you think something's too hard. And I think all that hard work, stuff that when it finally paid off and when they pinned that badge on you, you realize like you know, you can do those types of things and you can get through that struggle. And that's kind of what I took away from my proudest moment.
All right. Thought you did really well. For me,
Yeah, I feel like I didn't have enough story in there, but I didn't really like, I don't have much of a story to that, but you know, it is what it is.
yeah, short and sweet. But like for me, I had like a connection to it because I had the same thing. You know, Aristotle was a different school, but I had the same thing happen. It's blood wings. I don't know what they call it there, but
Yeah, that's
thing happened.
tradition.
I thought it was really attention grabbing in a way. But that's just on my perspective.
Right. So for me, I just thought, yeah, a little more detail would have been good. And I thought you used like pretty graphic text, which helped kind of because you left out some detail. But you were a little bit squirmy, which was kind of distracting. But
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah.
other
Yeah.
than that, it was really good. I could feel like I could feel the emotion behind it, like how impactful it was on you.
Yeah, I
So
thought showing the pins might help too.
yeah, I like that.
That's why I like was scrambling around. I was like hoping I could even find them in my room. I've had them for a while. I just like I have a box of like stuff that I've kept over the years from the Air Force somewhere. So I was digging through the house for that. But yeah,